So it's been a whole month since I dropped an episode. First off, before I continue, I want to thank all of my fans who stuck by me during my absence. It's been a wild and rough month for me. So I just recently recovered from a leg injury and had to get enough rest and choke down enough meds to recover so I can get back to work. And honestly, this is no excuse. I'm not drawing with my feet, you feel me? But it's a reason, nonetheless. It's crazy. I'm very grateful for getting as many followers as I've gotten in the past few months, considering the field I'm in and the time it takes to create an episode. I want to thank all of you. I also lost subscribers, and yes, it shook my confidence a little, and I can't blame them. They probably had a lot of faith in my project and saw that I wasn't active and bounced. But when I say this is a solo project, I mean solo dolo. I'm talking about writing, storyboards, music, cleanup, and in-betweens, and some voice work. So you can imagine when something happens to me, things might go stagnant for a minute. Also, no one's gonna care about your project, at least not at first. This whole YouTube thing is new to me, but this was hard for me to grasp. You have to be your own biggest fan, and I'm still learning to love my own channel. So look, I'm not gonna lie. I always wanted to make comics, even as a small child. But when my 7-year-old eyes saw the movie Akira for the first time, I knew exactly what I wanted to do. This movie turned me on to Dragon Ball, Gundam, and everything in between. Just like many of you listening right now, anime became my goal. But when adulting starts adulting, and bills rear their ugly little face, and the meantime jobs become the full-time jobs, aka dream killers, hey, gotta quit. Yup, I did. A creative has no place at a job doing manual labor, working stupid crazy hours to make another company rich. It just wasn't for me. If I wanted to do this, it had to be full-time. It's literally only me working on this project. That was extremely irresponsible on my end though, considering I only had enough funds to support me for a few months. So it wasn't full-time for long, but I knew it had to be done. That leads me to the next part of the commentary, what it's like starting your own web series. Quick before I even start this part of the commentary, this is the most difficult yet rewarding thing I've ever done in my life. Okay, I just want to get that out the way. But anyway, you might be naive like I was and thought, hey, I know a considerable amount about animation, and I can draw pretty fast. Can't be that difficult. Yeah, well, who's gonna market your project? Are you gonna clean up, ink, and color every frame? What about the voice actors? These are all impeding factors you should think about. If you go about it like I did, you should write your entire series first, or at least a story outline, and go from there. Honestly, jump into it because you're going to procrastinate. There are so many distractions surrounding us, so consider just jumping into your story and design the characters while you're writing. I mean, literally sketch them out. Ask a couple of your friends if they'd like to help you out with voice work. Let them know your situation, and let them know you're going to take care of them if and when things pick up. But let's be honest, say when they pick up, because this is your story, and it's dope, and it's going to be awesome. Even barter with them if you have to. So let's talk about the animation part of this whole thing. First off, 2D animation is extremely tedious and time consuming, but the trade-off is it's beautiful and it ages like fine wine. 3D animation ages like milk, let's be real. A lot of times I go straight from the storyboard and put it in comic book page format in Clip Studio Paint and animate right on top of that. As long as it's not heavy action, I do it like that. Also, I do cleanup right on top of the pencil animatic or pencil test and put the in-betweens in accordingly using vector layers. This speeds up the process and allows you to get really creative with your lines. It also saves a bunch of time. I wouldn't do this if I was working with a team, but if you're solo like me, it's a lifesaver. The reason why is because vector layers in Clip Studio Paint are extremely versatile. Just look how quick I fixed my mistakes using the pen tool. I actually started almost drawing with the pen tool entirely if I can. I'm not gonna get into coloring and cleanup using Clip Studio, but there are plenty of tutorials on YouTube that can help you with that. You should check them out. Quick FYI about audio. I use FL Studio for music and sound effects. Sometimes I load audio into Clip Studio Paint and animate right on top of that, especially if the scene is dialogue heavy. This saves time in the editing phase of your episode or project as a whole. Let's talk about editing. Right now I edit in Clipchamp, but I suggest using Filmora. It's just a better version of Clipchamp, and I think it's still like $50 a year. After Effects is way better though. If you got any Adobe skills, use that. You can add in some pretty good special effects using After Effects. Editing is another time-consuming skill. If you can outsource it, you should. Lastly, be confident in your project. This is your chance to tell a story and it's great, original, and you've put your blood, sweat, and tears into it. Your confidence will show through your work. I'm not always confident in my work, but I think a lot of artists look back at their work and say, I should have did this or that, but as long as you were confident when you made it, who cares? I mean, do I need to mention South Park? Consistency can make or break you, meaning stay consistent or you'll break. I'm gonna start making blog posts just like this in the future, kind of like a journal. I want you guys to know you mean a lot to me, and I look forward to hearing from you in the future. If anyone sees this and would like to help out, contact me in my email in the description, and we can chat it up. So I guess that wraps things up here. See you next episode. It's gonna be a good one, y'all.